Hi, this is the Goodlife Investor, and today's video is about why UAE residents are searching for the term golden visa. Now, if you look at the Google search trends, Dubai or the UAE ranks number one when it comes to search for the term golden visa. So I'm going to cover why exactly the residents are so desperate to get a second passport and a quality second passport, and why they're searching for a golden visa although they live in the UAE. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jay Suresh, and if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe so you're up to date on the latest and greatest and changes to programs. Also hit the bell notification so you get the notification on time, and let's get started. So the reason why someone living in Dubai is actively, desperately, in some cases, searching for a golden visa. Now, usually the residents of Dubai are citizens from South Asian countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and a bunch of other South Asian countries. And they like the lifestyle in Dubai. It's the midpoint. Maybe it's tough for them to go to the West. Maybe they don't like living in the West. The cultural situation, the proximity makes Dubai a very lucrative destination for them, not only to move and have a good life, but also set up business and their life in Dubai. It's good for their family. It has a good vibe and it's a great country. So when they move to Dubai, one of the big issues rather in today's day and age is that it's tough or it's almost impossible to get a Dubai citizenship. So they're stuck with their original citizenships from their countries, which has a couple of issues in most cases. One big issue is the lack of mobility. In today's day and age, it's very important to set up residencies abroad, move, and being limited by your country's passport makes it very tough for the movement or the mobility situation. The second big issue that has cropped up is a lot of governments, especially developing governments, are bringing up rules without understanding the full consequences. Sometimes, they come up with all these rules, but the infrastructure does not really support implementing those rules. So there's a lot of headache, concern, and chaos that's caused panic in some cases, where the home country decides something and suddenly starts taxing its citizens, suddenly changes rules, and that may negatively impact. So the uncertainty of all those scenarios makes it a big liability for some of these citizens residing in Dubai to carry their nationality from their home country. So it's kind of a liability to live and carry some of the burden, some of the baggage, according to some people. Other people might be nationalists and they want to, still hang on to it, which is fine, but some people see that as a burden. So a lot of these people who are living in Dubai want to get something better. They want to get something nice. Yes, there are commercial options. Some people use that as a stopgap interim option. So they get one of the Caribbean passports or some of the countries' CBI. But the long-term plan for a lot of people is a quality second passport, and that's where they're searching for the term golden visa, where they have secured the starter passport and they're looking for something more spectacular, something that's high in quality, something that will carry them through for the rest of their life. And some of the very high quality passports that are available through the route of the golden visa. Three of my top favorite golden visas, as I have covered on numerous occasions in my previous videos, are Dutch, which is the benchmark, that is the highest. The passport is much stronger than some of the Western nations like Australia, Canada, US. The access, the mobility is much higher with the Dutch passport. So that's the number one on my list. Then you have Portugal, you have Spain, not my favorite options. Then you have South Korea. Again, the time to a South Korean passport is slightly longer, and that again doesn't make the top on my list. But the number one is the Netherlands or the Dutch passport, an amazing travel document, and they too have multiple options. So they have a couple of options to get there. One is a direct Netherlands or Dutch golden visa. That's more expensive. So if you play in the millions, then you can directly make that investment and get that kind of passport. You also have the Austrian citizenship by investment, which is at a much higher price point. But someone who wants to be reasonable, get a golden visa in place and work their way towards a Dutch passport, that can also happen through an alternate way, which is the Curacao golden visa. So if you're interested in the Curacao permanent residency that leads to citizenship, click the link in the description, book a call. I can answer all your questions, also get you started with any of the residency of your choice. We can see what's your use case and what you're looking for. We can narrow down your options and get you on path, and hopefully that leads to a citizenship in future. If you're looking for an immediate citizenship, there are options for that as well. If you're looking for a starter pass in the interim and then work yourself towards that golden passport in future, that's also an option. So we can discuss all of that. So getting back to the topic of living in Dubai. So once you have the golden visa satisfied, there are certain residency requirements, like the most popular golden visa is the Portugal golden visa, where you park your capital, just buy a property, which has changed quite a bit. So there's some issues these days with that option. It's not as lucrative as it used to be before. The delays, the kind of properties that are available, all of that, some people are still happy, they go forward with it, which is perfectly fine. And then there are some people that don't see that as a great deal anymore. But the point is, once you have the golden visa requirements satisfied, once you have done the residency requirement, then you get access to one of the most powerful passports in the world. You can continue to live in Dubai and live your life normally and have one of the best securities or one of the lifelong plans in place, your best passport in place. And that's a dream for someone living in Dubai who is wealthy, who wants to strengthen their life in the most appropriate manner. So initially it starts off with luxury. You're buying luxury watches and cars and apartments, but these days the passport is also quite important. So if you're carrying a luxury passport that reflects on your personality, that reflects on your status when it comes to business dealings, travel abroad. So when you're traveling, people respect you by the strength or by the look and the feel. In theory, it should not work like that, but when it comes to the practical scenario, perspectives change when you're carrying, let's say, a Netherlands passport versus something else. And that's the dream of someone living a wealthy lifestyle. It's about the luxury, it's about the comfort, it's about the brand and the quality that you carry with you. Passport and nationality, you can't get any bigger in terms of that. So if you're interested in 1, 2 or more, we can get you started on your path. Hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and see you in the next